From the moment you stepped into this world, chosen one, you have carried something within you that sets you apart. Maybe you've always felt different, like you don't quite fit into the mold society tries to place you in. Maybe you've always sensed that there was a deeper calling on your life, a force guiding you even when you didn't fully understand it. And now you're starting to see it more clearly. They know who you really are. The people around you may act like they don't notice, like they don't see your light, but deep down they do. They can feel the presence of something greater within you, something divine, something untouchable, and it shakes them. It makes them uncomfortable, because when the truth walks into the room, deception has no place to hide. When real power is near, artificial strength crumbles. You have something they can't define, and that terrifies them. That's why some people in your life have suddenly changed. That's why friends have turned into strangers. That's why people you thought would always be there suddenly feel distant. It's not because you did anything wrong. It's not because you changed in a bad way. It's because you grew into your true identity and the world is struggling to process it. Some people see you and recognize what you are, but they won't admit it. They see the favor of God upon you, but instead of celebrating it, they resent it. Instead of being inspired by it, they fear it. Why? Because your presence alone exposes their lack. Your authenticity reveals their pretense. Your strength highlights their weakness. Your light makes their darkness unbearable. And instead of rising up to match your energy, they would rather pull you down. They would rather ignore you, doubt you, talk behind your back, or try to make you question yourself. But here's what they don't understand. You were chosen for this. You were built for this. You didn't ask for this calling, but it was given to you for a reason. It's not something you can turn off. It's not something you can deny. And whether they accept it or not, you are walking in divine purpose. You might wonder, why me? Why do I have to be the one to stand out, to be misunderstood, to be targeted for simply being myself? But understand this, God does not place his anointing on just anyone. He does not give his power to those who will waste it. You were selected before you even knew who you were. You were set apart long before you could comprehend the magnitude of your calling. And now, the time has come for you to step into that truth fully. No more hiding, no more shrinking, no more watering yourself down to make others comfortable. They know who you are, and that means they can no longer pretend. They can no longer ignore the fact that you are different. They can no longer deny that your life has a weight to it, a meaning, a force that cannot be explained in human terms. But with this realization comes opposition. Because when people cannot control you, they will try to destroy you. When they cannot manipulate you, they will try to silence you. The enemy will use whoever he can, friends, family, colleagues, even strangers, to plant seeds of doubt in your mind, to make you question your path, to make you feel like maybe you're imagining things. But deep down, you already know the truth. You feel it in your spirit. You see it in the way doors open for you that others never expected. You see it in the way, no matter how hard they try, they cannot break you. You are protected. You are anointed. You are chosen. The people who once underestimated you are now watching in silence, realizing they were wrong. The ones who doubted you are now whispering behind closed doors, wondering how you keep rising. And the ones who tried to stop you, they are now coming to terms with the fact that nothing they do can change what has already been written. They may have ignored your worth before, but now they have no choice but to acknowledge it. Because when God calls someone, no one can deny it. And you, chosen one, are walking proof of that truth. You have felt the weight of their eyes, haven't you? The way they look at you when they think you're not paying attention. Some with admiration, some with curiosity, but many with resentment. They know who you are, even if they won't say it out loud. They sense something different about you, something they cannot quite understand. And that, chosen one, is what makes them uneasy. People who have spent their entire lives blending in, conforming, following the rules of the world. How do you think they feel when they meet someone who is walking in divine authority? Someone who refuses to be controlled by fear, by social expectations, by the limits placed upon them by small minds. It terrifies them, because if you are real, if someone like you truly exists, then that means they too could have chosen a different path. That means they too could have been more, done more, believed more. But they didn't. They chose comfort. They chose safety. They chose to be part of the crowd. And now, when they see you, it forces them to face the truth they've been avoiding. That is why they react the way they do. That is why some of them try to undermine you, ignore you, or act like your presence does not affect them. But you know better. You can feel the shift in the atmosphere when you walk into a room. It's in the way conversations pause, in the way people glance at you out of the corner of their eyes, in the way their energy changes when you're near. Because even if they don't understand it, their spirit recognizes something ancient, something powerful, something divine within you. Some of them want to be close to it, to learn from it, to figure out what makes you different. But others want to destroy it. Because people who have spent their entire lives living in darkness do not appreciate when the light exposes what has been hidden. You see, chosen one, when you step into your true power, you don't just change yourself, you change everything around you. You challenge the lies, you disrupt the illusions, you bring clarity where confusion once ruled. And those who have built their lives on falsehoods, they cannot stand that. They would rather fight you, resist you, try to break you down, than admit that they too could have been more. You have probably noticed that some people who once loved and supported you suddenly seem distant. They may not even know why. They just feel uncomfortable around you now. It's not because you've done anything wrong. It's because your presence forces them to face things they would rather ignore. They can no longer lie to themselves the way they used to. They can no longer pretend that mediocrity is acceptable. They can no longer live in the illusion that nothing greater exists beyond what they've been taught. You force them to wake up, and not everyone is ready for that. That is why you have felt so much resistance in your journey. That is why people have tried to push you down, distract you, make you doubt yourself. Because the world fears what it cannot control. And you, chosen one, are uncontrollable. But do not let their reactions shake you. Do not let their doubts seep into your spirit. Because whether they accept it or not, whether they admit it or not, they know who you are. They recognize the power within you, the favor upon your life, the unstoppable force that guides your steps. And deep down, they also know that nothing they do can change that. You were chosen before the foundations of the world. Your path was written long before they had an opinion about you. Their words, their actions, their attempts to dim your light, none of it matters. Because you are walking in a destiny that cannot be altered. Even now, as they watch you, as they whisper about you, as they try to figure out what makes you so different, they know the truth. They see that no matter what obstacles have been placed in your path, you continue to rise. They see that no matter how many times you've been tested, you have never been broken. They see that no matter how much negativity they send your way, it does not touch you. And that is what truly terrifies them. Because nothing they do can stop you. You are a living testament to the fact that God's power is real. You are proof that there is something greater than the limitations of this world. And whether they accept it or not, they will remember you. They will remember the way you carried yourself, the way you moved through life with purpose, the way you never let fear or doubt shake you. They will remember the presence you carried, the energy that surrounded you, the undeniable force that radiated from you. And one day, whether in this life or the next, they will have to acknowledge the truth. Because chosen one, they know who you are. They always have. And now it is time for you to fully embrace that truth, to step into your divine power without hesitation, without apology. The world may not be ready for you, but that doesn't matter, because you were never meant to fit in. You were meant to stand out. And now it is time to rise. They will try, chosen one. They will try everything in their power to make you doubt yourself. They will try to convince you that you are just like everyone else, that you are nothing special, that your calling is just an illusion, a dream, a fantasy. Because if they can convince you to shrink, to dim your light, to step back into the shadows, then they will no longer have to face the truth that has been haunting them. They know who you are. They have always known. But if they can break your confidence, if they can make you question yourself, then they can pretend, just for a little longer, that nothing has changed. But you must not let them win, because this is your moment. This is the time when you rise, not because you are proving anything to them, but because you are fulfilling what has already been written. You were never meant to stay hidden. You were never meant to stay small. Every battle you have faced, every struggle you have overcome, every tear you have cried has been preparing you for this exact moment. And now they see it too. They see the transformation happening within you. They see the way you carry yourself now, the quiet confidence, the unshakable faith, the undeniable presence that follows you wherever you go. They see that you are no longer bound by fear, that you are no longer seeking their validation, that you are no longer willing to fit into the mold they created for you. And it terrifies them, because they were comfortable when you were unaware of your power. They were comfortable when you were still questioning your worth. They were comfortable when you still needed their approval. But now you have awakened, and there is no turning back. They are watching you, chosen one, watching and waiting. Some are waiting for you to fail, for you to stumble, for you to second-guess yourself so they can say, "I told you so." But others are watching in awe. They may not admit it, but deep down they are inspired, because they see something in you that they have never seen before: fearlessness. You are moving differently now. You are walking with the authority of someone who knows they are backed by something greater. You are speaking with conviction, with certainty, with a knowing that shakes the very foundations of the world around you. And that, chosen one, is what makes you unstoppable. They will try to pull you back, to remind you of who you used to be, to make you feel guilty for growing, for changing, for stepping into the divine path that was always meant for you. But you must keep going, because this is not about them. This is about fulfilling your purpose, about stepping into the destiny that has been waiting for you since the beginning of time. You are not here to make them comfortable. You are here to bring truth. And the truth will always make some people uncomfortable. That is not your burden to carry. There will come a day when even the ones who doubted you, the ones who whispered behind your back, the ones who did everything in their power to stop you, will have no choice but to acknowledge who you are. They will see that no matter how much resistance you faced, no matter how many obstacles were placed in your way, no matter how much they tried to bring you down, you never broke. You never gave up. You never surrendered to their expectations. And on that day, they will realize that they were never truly fighting you. They were fighting the power within you. You are walking proof that divine favor is real. You are a reminder that there is something greater than what this world has tried to convince us is possible. And whether they love you or fear you, whether they support you or oppose you, they cannot ignore you, because your presence is undeniable. Your energy shifts the atmosphere. Your spirit carries a force that cannot be explained, only felt. And that is why they know who you are. So let them watch, let them whisper, let them doubt. It does not matter, because you are moving forward, regardless of what they think. You are stepping into your purpose, regardless of who approves. You are fulfilling a calling that cannot be stopped, no matter how hard they try. And one day, when they look back, they will remember this moment. They will remember the way they treated you, the way they underestimated you, the way they tried to hold you back, and they will realize that nothing they did could stop you. Because you were never meant to be stopped. You were meant to rise. You were meant to shine. You were meant to change the world. And now is your time.